My name is Lynn Schrader, and I help women find their expertise and turn that into a profitable business. Today, I want to talk to you about the difference between connecting and communicating and why connecting is really better and so different than communicating. So, I've got a confession to make. I'm pretty sure that I had a few bouts of mild depression this summer. I was in a dark mood and consumed by anxiety. I lost interest in activities that really had always brought me pleasure. I cried at the drop of a hat. I had trouble sleeping. I lost energy. I had an overall feeling of worthlessness. And most of all, I felt very isolated and alone, and it was awful. And COVID can really do that to you, can it? I'm sure I'm not alone. I'm sure I'm speaking to people who are either in that right now or have experienced bouts like I have, these ups and downs. Um, I was absolutely still communicating with people. I was on Zoom, I was on FaceTime. I did direct messages. I emailed. I was communicating with people, but I wasn't connecting. There was a difference of surface level communicating, and I was craving this deep, deep connection, and I wasn't getting it. The definition of communicating is to share and exchange information, but the definition of connection is that link that we form between people. It's forming of a relationship. So communication is full of encounters, and connecting is full of engagement. Communication can be very surface level, like I said, and kind of an inch thick. Um, Connecting, on the other hand, can go miles deep. Communication is transmitting using our brain or our head, transmitting, but connection is transmitting and receiving with our heart. There is nothing, nothing, nothing that takes the place of face to face eye contact, touching, body language, and heart to heart conversations. And COVID 19 has put a wrench in that, hasn't it? We've been told to maintain a social distance. And that alone can make us feel isolated and alone. And in the midst of all that solitude, our brain can really give us some intrusive thoughts. I like to call them pesky little ants that walk through our brain, and they can, tell us lies and make us depressed and make us fearful and make us feel unworthiness. That solitude really kind of breeds that. And now more than ever, it's important to connect with people. The antidote to that despair and isolation truly is a connection with friends. Now, here's the deal though, you have to be willing. So here I was in the middle of that depression, and I thought something is going on. I am not normally like that. So in the middle of that, I planted my feet and said in my brain, around those little ants, enough. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is so unusual. I'm not going to let this have the better of me. So I had to get vulnerable. I had to put myself out there. I didn't wait for people to reach out to me. I began reaching out to them. I pulled out my phone and I started, I grabbed my calendar, which is right next to me. I pulled out my phone and I began messaging, communicating with people and asking them to connect with me over happy hour or lunch or walking my dog or exercising with me or having a deck date, meeting on someone's deck. But I had to be vulnerable. I had to put myself out there, even though I was fearful of sharing my challenges and my weaknesses and all of those things, and taking a chance that maybe they weren't going to be empathetic, or maybe they were going to betray my confidence, but I had to do that. So that's exactly what I did. I pulled out my phone. I began reconnecting with people I hadn't seen in a long time, and I hosted a front yard gathering. I invited people over on my deck. I made dates for happy hour. I'm going to go to one in just a few minutes. Now, yes, all of those things I maintained, and I still maintain that healthy um, uh, safety. I wear my mask. I'm not gathering in groups of more than, 10. So I'm urging you to do the same thing. But friend, don't let another day go by. If you were in a dark place like I was, don't let another day go by with you in that dark place, alone and depressed. Life is too short to be wasted in this. So I urge you to be vulnerable. Pick up your contacts, your calendar, and begin making some dates to connect, not communicate, but connect with your friends and with new people. Thank you so much for watching. I have a question. So if you have been connecting, how are some ways that you're doing that? Drop your answer below so the rest of us can get some value from your answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you tuning in.